Hi everybody, I'm Tricia Morris from Club Scrap. You know, when I first heard about this product by Ampersand Art called Stampbord, I just had to have it. And it comes all different sizes. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick. It's really solid. It has this pristine white coating on it. I was nearly terrified to break in and start playing with it. So shall we just break the ice here? There. Now let's go get started on our project. So while we're getting started with this project, again, this is Ampersand Art's stamp board, and again, it's coated with clay, so it's very, very smooth. It loves to soak up the ink no matter what kind of ink you happen to be using. This time, we're using fluid chalk ink in a cat's eye shape by Colorbox, which is made by Clearsnap, and this is just a wonderful ink that just soaks right in, and it dries relatively quickly. The product dries quickly, and the ink dries quickly. If you want, you can blend many colors. In fact, that's one of the properties I love about this stamp board, is that the colors just really blend nicely. I'm just going to take a heat tool and just heat that up a little bit to speed the process of drying. Next, I'm going to stamp an image onto the stamp board. Now that that's thoroughly inked, I'm going to turn the image around and just place it onto my stamp board. Press firmly, and just like it likes ink from a pad, loves it from a stamp, and you get such a beautiful, clean image. Once again, I'm going to heat set this with my tool. Okay, the way to confirm that your ink is dry is if it's not shiny any longer, and in this case, I think we're in pretty good shape. Now, Ampersand Art also makes some tools called scratch tools, and these are a must when you're working with the stamp board. Let me show you how they work. There are blades, and you can slide them in and out of the handle. The handle has a curved opening, so the blade should just fit right in. So you can actually take the blades in and out of the handle and use any type of blade you wish. Right now I'm going to be using a wide-edged blade here because we're going to scrape away some of the surface of this hibiscus flower. So I'm just going to start with one of these leaves, and I'm going to take the tool and just start removing the black inked areas. Now as you're working, you might want to just blow away some of the excess so you can see where you're working. Now I have gone ahead to save some time, and I have scraped away the entire area of the flower petals, and that didn't really take all that long. And the next thing we're going to do is colorize them. So now I'm taking Blue Lagoon ink, and I'm going to just get ink into the general vicinity of the flower area that I've scraped away. Remember, I've just taken off a thin layer of the colored clay to reveal the white clay underneath. And that's the fun part about this product, is that you can work in so many different layers. And so I'm just inking these flower petals. Next, I'm going to come in with just a facial tissue here, and I'm going to wipe away any of the excess ink, and it sort of just pushes the ink down into the clay and really gives me a nice effect. I'm just going to add a little touch right here. Okay, so now my hibiscus has been inked, and I've got some nice contrasting color going on there. I am going to take my tool and scrape away another area of the flower, making sure that I remove all of the green underlying color here. And I'm using that same tool again with the larger blade, but for this detailed area, I'm going to bring in a different tool that has a very, very pointy tip, and that helps me achieve unmeasurable detail. It is incredible how much detail you can actually carve into this stamp board. We're doing a larger object right now just because it's our first one. We want it to be something nice and simple, but when you really start playing with this, you can get just the tiniest little scraping into your project, and sometimes that detail is really nice to have. These blades are really sharp too, so just be sure you're careful. So now I have this all exposed. I'm going to take some yellow and just add another contrasting color and put that into this area. Once again, just kind of wipe away any excess. We have just one other little area with the larger blade. Again, we're going to scrape away these cute little dots that go around this hibiscus stamp. In this case, I'm doing a very relaxed, shall we say, job, allowing some of that black ink to remain, and it just sort of frames up each little dot. And notice I'm kind of blowing away again between each step so that I can see where I'm working. So now I have all those little circles cleared away, and I'm coming back. This color is called Rose Coral. And once again, I'm using the cat's eye size because it just works great for this. Now at this point, I just kind of wanted to smooth things out. And Ampersand also has, this is an oil-free steel wool. And what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of scraping. I'm going to clean things up in here a little bit. and it sort of roughs it up a little bit. And I'm even adding a little bit of a texture intentionally to this because I really like the effect. So you can, or you do this step where you can leave it out altogether, and if you make an error, all you just simply do is take the steel bowl and rub it away. All right, so now we have that. Another little thing you can do with this, what's going to be a little miniature scrapbook cover, is just freehand remove some of the color from the outer edges. So now I have all of the outer edges scraped and they're white, and I can add my classic, what I call a paperless frame. In this case, it just is a clay-coated frame, and really set things off on what's going to become a book cover. So here I'm just going to stamp a little title onto my book, and this is the word enjoy. All right, so now we have our little heading on there. There's one other little aspect of Stampbord that I really want to show you, and this is what I love about it. And working with flowers, I'm going to grab my fine tip blade, and I'm going to try to pretend just for a moment that I really am an artist. And I will add some nice fine detail into the petals of this hibiscus flower. You don't have to press hard at all because you're just taking the top surface of ink, and I love how that adds the texture and detail to the flower. Let me show you what this looks like when it's all been scraped away. Here I have one, and I just love how that detail really warms up the image, and you can even go all the way around your word. You can add it along here, along the pink circles, so you can keep going as long as you want and really have a good time with this. Now, let me put this away, and I've been referring to a book, so what we need to remember is we need to make a front cover and a back cover. So I've actually made two of these, but only one of them has the title on it. I've gone ahead and selected some papers from Club Scrap's Surf's Up collection, and I think that these colors are going to go great with what I've selected for my book covers. I've trimmed them down to make some inside pages that measure 1 3/4 by 7. But you don't have to worry about remembering those measurements. Just download your design guide. I've got them all cut over here. Once you get those little pages cut, this is for the inside of the book, you just need to fold them into an accordion. To do that, I'm just going to fold this in half. I'm going to crease that fold with the bone folder, and then take that open edge here and bring it up to the fold I've already made. That way you know all of your pages will actually be the same size. Turn it over and fold this open edge up to that first fold we made. And basically we're making a piece of paper that will end up being in the shape of a W. So we're going to do that 3 times, and then what that will make is a series of pages that can be interlocked together. So our inside pages are ready to go and to glue into our book. Before we do that, there was a little thing that I observed. I wanted my inside pages to fit really nice inside my book, but I also didn't want to reveal the coloring of this clay board from the back side. So I've made some little pieces that just fit perfectly onto my covers, and I'm simply going to add some glue to the back of this and position that paper right on the stamp board. Next, I'm confirming my front and my back cover because I want to take my back cover and add a ribbon closure at this point. Little swatch of glue, and I'm taking a little ribbon. And notice that I'm inching it so that it's kind of short on this side and longer on the other side. So now I have my ribbon. Next, I'll grab my inside pages that have all been accordion folded, and I would put this here, and then this would go on top, and then I need to somehow find a way to really close this, and I happen to just be using 2 little D-rings. So let me show you how those get attached. I take one D-ring, slide it on, another one, slide it on, and then loop it around so that they're both hanging from the edge of the ribbon. All right, you don't put one on and then seal the ribbon. You just do it both of them, and then you can attach it with the brad, and then your ribbon closure will be complete. Let me show you how this book will look like when it's completely assembled. Here it is with our D-ring. Let me show you how you can close your book. You just simply take the end of the ribbon, bring it through both D-rings, pull it tight, pull one of those D-rings back, and the ribbon goes through to close. It reminds me of an old belt that I used to have when I was little. And there's your little finished book. Now, of course, inside, because nothing's more fun than seeing what's inside, and it opens all the way as well, and I've added all kinds of journaling here and some stamped images that carry through. And if you close it and turn it over, you can open it again, and there's a whole new array of different colors of photos and stuff. Don't you just love this little book? Now, let me show you some other projects you can make with this wonderful stamp board. You thought this one was small? How about a 1x1 little book chain here? You can just take off some elastic This is one by one. I've scraped away a bicycle tire and the word play right into my book cover, and look at those teeny tiny little index photos were used to decorate the inside of my book. And then let's go to the bigger side of things. We can really get a lot of detail, and again, this doesn't even scratch the surface, pun intended, about how you can actually scratch detail from stamped images right into your stamp board. Here I've done the front cover, and I've gone ahead and stitched a book together right here using a really basic bookbinding stitch, and then I've done the back cover as well. Just to show you, you can go off another whole direction. This is a rather contemporary geometric feel, but I used a ruler to etch straight lines into the inked surface of the clay, and then I just scraped away some of the images, I added ink to some of the areas, and then I stamped the whole thing with another image, and I had so much fun making this one. And this is the one that my 9-year-old daughter made when she was sitting alongside me one night. She had so much fun carving a beautiful leaf into this stamp board. So she made me 2 covers, and I put it together in a little book for her, and she just had a ball. Well, Emily and I had fun, and I know you're going to have fun playing with Stampboard, and you just might even feel like an artist. Enjoy.
For step-by-step instructions on how to create this week's project, download the design guide featuring special make-it-your-own bonus tips.